So far we were printing. Today we'll learn about reading. Let's say you would like to read something from the user. The user will provide you with an input and your program will make use of it. So here where the input function come to the scene. There are two ways to use it. You might use like an input of something empty, which is just going to read directly, or input of message, which is going to print the message first and then printing it. I would like to demo here so that you can see more what's happening behind the scene. So let's go to this code here. Here is our first line of codes. You see it say str equal input, and this means read something and put it here in star. So let's run this program. So here I'm going to start to write something, maybe hello world. If I printed it here, and you see here print str is going to print the statement that I read, and it's going to print the type of it to be of type str. So as you see, the input is a function that we can just call, and it's going to wait for us to input something, and then we can do something with it. Another interesting thing here is, what if I entered something like 1 to 3? Will the type would be integer or string? The type again would be string. So whatever you input here is going to be just a couple of, it's just going to be a string. So be careful from that. Also observe, like let's say I would like to enter like two integers, for example, I entered 10 and 20. It's again it's going to be one string only of 10 and 20. What if I would like to read two integers? Then you have to read twice and maybe to convert your code. So let's back here to our observations here. There is also another thing here to learn about. Let's check this code here. This code is doing the following. It says input of, and then it's giving some message, enter your name. So let's see what does this mean. Let's run it. So you see initially it printed for you enter your name, then it's waiting for something from you. So I'm going to say here Mustafa, for example. So it says hello Mustafa. Okay. In addition, you can make both of them in a single line of code like that. You can say hello plus input of something. So like a function calling a function. This input will be resolved first to whatever I enter, then hello. Let's say here I said Bilal. It's going to say hello Bilal. So these two lines of code are the same as this line of code. The input is going to first print some message, taking from you some input, and then returning it to here. And then we can use the plus to concatenate the result together. As I said, if you try to input two numbers in a single line of code, it's going to be just one string with a single line of code. If you would like to handle that, you better do reading for A input, B input in two lines of code. For example, let's go here and say something like that. And let's print here the integer of A plus 2 times the integer of B. Now we are going to read two numbers, but make sure to put every one of them on a single line. If I say here 10 and 20 is going to print 50. Okay, but if you did a mistake, like for example you entered the 10 and 20 in a single line of code, you see what happened is the 10 and 20 are now in the variable A. The variable B is waiting for some input from you. If I try to enter something here like 7, the program crashed. Why? Because the int function here took a string that it consists of 10 and 20 space. It couldn't convert that to an integer because it are two integers. It cannot be converted. So overall, you have to be careful when you would like to read multiple integers. The last thing that I would like to know is I'm going to teach you an approach, but you will not be able to understand it at the moment. See the syntax here. A, B, C equal input.split. You can read something that consists of 3 items, spaces between them, and Python will split it for you this way. So let's try to print it here. Print A and B and C. Let's run that. And let's enter here I am Mustafa. It's going to print I for A, B would have Am, and C would have Mustafa. So if you did something like that, it's going to divide the input for you. More interestingly, let's say you would like to read 4 integer variables. You do the following line of code. Let's print here the B and the D, for example. Let's run. Let's enter 10, 20, 30, 40. It's going to print the B, which is here corresponding to the 20, and the D, which is corresponding to the 40. The moral of that is this line of code is going to read some input and calling some function called split, and is going to map every string to an input. We will come back later to this syntax. For now, I would like just to follow it every time you would like to read something that is multiple items on the same line. You can definitely read each one of them with an input on an input line, but I would like to make your life easier. In a very similar way, let's say you would like to read 5 float numbers here. So let's run it. It's going to show you enter 5 numbers. Let's say 1.5, 2, 3.5, 4, 6. It's just going to print them. Now, what if you give wrong inputs? Like for example, let's say you give here 5, 5, 5, 2, 2, 2. Now these are 6 numbers. It's going to fail. Too many values to unpack. It's expected only 5 values. So I would like you to make use of this map or input split function to make your life easier if you would like to enter multiple numbers on a single line. Later in the course, we will understand how this function is working. That's all.